Good evening and thank you for watching. For years, since 5 statues were taken down and put into storage in Wilmot, what will happen to them remains up for debate. Tonight, Council heard 6 recommendations born from an extensive community consultation on options for the path forward. But some councillors raised concerns about the report, asking instead to see more raw data. Let's bring in CTV's Colton Wiens, who's been following this tonight. Colton, this all happened at a special council meeting held on the issue.
Yeah, that's right, Krista. Tonight's meeting was meant to hear the findings of the consultants and to discuss their recommendations. The working group said they collected everyone's opinions and are not trying to take sides, but rather are trying to present how the community feels and what's important if the statues return. Council also heard from more delegates with their thoughts tonight.
My hope within sharing the personal impacts that the first Prime Minister has inflicted on my family is to bring an understanding to community members who do not share our lived experiences.
We have to continue to be reminded of these things as people who did not experience them so that they don't happen again or don't continue to happen.
An array of opinions shared at a special meeting of the Township of Wilmot as Council continues discussing the future of the Prime Minister's Path project. Some arguing the statues are a needed recount of history and will bring tourism to the community, while others sharing the pain and hurt they feel when they see the statues.
You would never ask an abused person to take space where the abuse took place.
We can examine the qualities that made them effective leaders, or perhaps in many cases not so effective leaders.
In 2016, Wilmot Township Council approved the statues to go on the grounds of Castle Kilbride and Baden without public consultation. A total of 5 statues eventually put up, with 4 more completed and ready for installation. But in 2020, the statue of Sir John A. Macdonald was covered in red paint and community members staged sit-ins. By 2021, Council was urged to remove the statues, which were taken down that summer. Since October last year, consultants have had over 10,000 engagements with residents and came up with 6 recommendations for Council for how to move forward with the project if Council chooses to do so.
This is not a yes to statues or no to statues. The idea is the statues can come back, absolutely, if these conditions or if these recommendations are accounted for and met.
After 6 months and over $100,000 spent on consultation, the working group recommended establishing a steering committee using public and private grants and not using township funds to include Indigenous and other diverse voices in the process, require resources, context, and critical reflection, to pick a location that allows people to choose to see it, and to actively support truth-telling, healing, and long-term reconciliation goals.
It seemed like folks ended up satisfied, at the very least, maybe not happy with, but satisfied with what came out of the process.
But at Monday's special meeting, councillors Lillian Dunstall and Chris Wilkinson shared their constituents felt the working group had a narrative and didn't fully listen to everyone. So Wilkinson asked the consultants to bring back evidence of their findings.
I think it would just help better inform the process and as well, again, provide evidence to support the positions that have been taken here.
I don't see a problem with that. It's a lot of data.
An unusual request, but councillors now plan to sift through all of the working group's records themselves before making a decision. Now, going forward, a community gathering will be held on May 28th to discuss the recommendations. As for a decision, Council was expected to debate it at a meeting in June, but because some councillors won't be available, they moved it to their July 28th meeting. Krista.
CTV's Colton Wiens reporting for us tonight. Thank you, Colton.